Naval, relating to a navy or navies. He graduated at the top of his class from the Naval College. Flattered, feeling complimented or honored. I am deeply flattered by your high praise, sir. Sackless, lacking energy, spirit, or competence. He proved to be a sackless leader who couldn't handle the pressure. Vulnerable, susceptible to physical or emotional attack or harm. The military base is too vulnerable to drone attacks. Munitions, military weapons, ammunition, and equipment. The Army spent billions on high-tech munitions. Primitive, relating to an early stage in the evolutionary or historical development of something. Their primitive technology was no match for advanced alien weapons. Muesli, a mixture of oats, dried fruit, and nuts, typically eaten with milk. He complained about having to eat nothing but dry muesli for breakfast. Vanity, excessive pride in or admiration of one's own appearance or achievements. His vanity wouldn't allow him to admit he was wrong. Recruit, to enlist someone in the armed forces or a team. We need to recruit the best physicists of this generation for the project. Quid, £1 sterling. I bet you 20 quid that the mission will fail. Heritage, valued objects and qualities, such as cultural traditions and historic buildings passed down from previous generations. The DNA test revealed a lot about his European heritage. Jackal, a slender, long-legged wild dog that feeds on carrion and small animals. He jokingly described himself as a half-jackal because of his wild nature. Mutt, a dog of obscure or mixed breed. He laughed and called himself a European mutt after checking his DNA results. Stirrups, pairs of light frames or rings for the foot of a rider, attached to the saddle. The Army advanced rapidly thanks to the invention of iron stirrups. Traitors, people who betray a country, a cause, or a trust. Those who cooperate with the enemy are seen as traitors to humanity. Non-starter, a person or plan that has no chance of succeeding or being effective. His proposal to surrender immediately was a complete non-starter. Morale, the confidence, enthusiasm, and discipline of a person or group at a particular time. Despite the incoming danger, the morale of the crew remained high. Conjured, made something appear unexpectedly or as if by magic. These are real beings, not mythical gods conjured up by humans. Raid, a sudden attack on an enemy by troops, aircraft, or other armed forces. The sudden military raid caught everyone off guard. Spoiler, information about the plot of a motion picture or book that can spoil the suspense for a viewer or reader. Don't give me any spoiler about what happens next in the war. Civis, civilian clothes, as opposed to military uniform. The officer was wearing civis instead of his military uniform. Recognition, appreciation, or acclaim for an achievement or service. There will be no public recognition or medals for this secret mission. Bloke, a man. I heard that a strange bloke caused trouble down the road. Solicitor, a legal attorney who prepares legal documents and gives legal advice. The solicitor arrived to handle the massive estate left behind. Bequeathment, the act of leaving something to a person by a will. The scale of the bequeathment surprised everyone in the family. Oncologist, a medical practitioner qualified to diagnose and treat tumors. They flew in the best oncologist on the planet to treat his illness. Jabbed, poked or thrust roughly or sharply. He hated being constantly jabbed with needles at the hospital. Prodded, poked with a finger, foot, or pointed object. The patient was tired of being prodded and scanned by doctors. Pasty, a folded pastry case containing meat and vegetables. He stopped at a local shop to buy a warm pasty for lunch. Winches, hauling or lifting devices consisting of a rope or chain winding round a horizontal rotating drum. The workers installed side winches to lift the heavy fibers. Starboard, the side of a ship or aircraft that is on the right when one is facing forward. The captain ordered the crew to check the starboard winches immediately. Port side, the left side of a ship or aircraft. The engineering team commenced the connection of portside fibers. Commencing, beginning or starting. The military operation is commencing in exactly 10 minutes. Retract, draw back or back in. Once the ropes are at full tension, we can retract the protective sheets. Apparatus, the technical equipment or machinery needed for a particular activity or purpose. They needed to prepare the nanofiber apparatus before the test. Dynamite, a high explosive consisting of nitroglycerin mixed with an absorbent material. The construction team used dynamite to blast through the rocky landslide. Drownings, deaths caused by suffocation in water. The dangerous river conditions resulted in several accidental drownings. Brute, unreasoning and animal-like, or using sheer force. They tried to solve the code using brute force rather than logic. Cryptography, the art of writing or solving codes. Advanced cryptography is required to protect highly sensitive naval communications. Pushy, excessively forward and assertive. The boss was being very pushy about getting answers immediately. Repetitive, containing items, words, or actions that are repeated over and over again. He found the commander's instructions to be boring and repetitive. Fleet, a group of ships sailing together, engaged in the same activity or under the same ownership. The massive alien fleet will take centuries to reach Earth. Procession, a number of people or vehicles moving forward in an orderly, formal, or ceremonial manner. The ships moved slowly in a solemn funeral procession. Entangled, twisted together, or connected at a quantum level. The particles are entangled on a quantum level, allowing instant communication. Chaotic, in a state of complete confusion and disorder. Without a clear plan, the situation on the base became completely chaotic.